Alright guys, so in this very long video, because it is gonna be kind of long, I'm gonna help you guys review for your test that you are taking tomorrow. Now I am really gonna need you guys to pay close attention, because again, like I said last time on the last test that we took, we didn't score that high, and I would really like for us to be up there, show off that my students are doing pretty well, because you guys are doing pretty well. You guys know your stuff, you know what you're doing. So definitely, if you study, I know that we're gonna have a lot of good grades on this test. So anyway, I know Miguel from 7th period asked me if I could play some music in the background. Sorry, that was a really good idea, but I don't know what music you guys like. What if I put something weird and you guys fall asleep on me or something? So if you would like to hear some music on the next video, then definitely let me know what songs you would like to hear, so it's playing in the background and it's less painful on your ears to be hearing my voice the whole time. Well, anyways, so let's go ahead and get started with number one, and it says, which of the following correlations represents a, I can't say that word, casual relationship? So it means which one of those reflects a cause and effect relationship. So basically, excuse my voice, I'm kind of sick because it just goes and comes and goes. But anyway, so a casual, I'm going to say casual, I don't really know how to say this word, but it means, is it cause and effect? Okay, let's look at letter A, and I'm not going to give you guys the answer, I'm just going to kind of help you guys figure it out. But it says the number of cats and the number of dogs in a shelter. So you need to ask yourself, if I add more cats to the shelter, does that mean that I'm gonna have more dogs in the shelter? Okay. If I add more cats and there are more dogs in the shelter, then definitely yes, this is a cause and effect, right? So you decide. Remember, I'm not giving you the answer, I'm just kind of helping you think about it. Letter B says the number of cats in a shelter and the amount of cat food used. So is it true that if I add more cats to the shelter, that I'm gonna need more food, or that if I have less cats, I'm gonna need less food? Letter C says the number of visitors and the number of cats. Does it mean that if I have more visitors, I'm gonna have more cats? And then finally, letter D, the amount of money in the cash drawer and the number of cats. Does it mean that if I have more cats, sorry, does it mean that if I have more money, then I'm gonna all of a sudden have more cats in the shelter? Okay, so think about what the answer to that one will be. Okay, whichever one of those is true, as a number of the first variables, as a number of the first cat, as the first cat, well, the first variable increases, does that make the second variable increase? If it does, then you have something that's cause and effect. Okay. Okay. Let's go on to number two. Oh, and by the way, this is part of correlation. Okay, so we were barely starting correlation, and we were talking about how it's the relationship of two variables. Is it linear when you graph it and that kind of stuff? We didn't get to cover it too much because I've been absent, but that's the idea. Alright. Number two, and before you go on to number two, make sure you pause it and really study number one, because number one can be quite easy actually. If you see a question like that, it should be very easy. So number two says, which graph represents the linear function 2x plus 4y equals -4? Okay. You have to keep in mind, every time that you have an equation in standard form, this is right here, standard form, you can't do anything with it. There's nothing you can know. You cannot know the slope, you cannot know the y-intercept until you solve for y. Okay. Now I always keep giving you two steps. I tell you, step one, move the x. And then step two, you're gonna divide by the number in front of the y. Okay, so I'm gonna do just that. 2x plus 4y equals negative 4. So I'm gonna do minus 2x. I have 4y equals, I can't combine these. All I can do is rewrite them. Negative 2x minus 4, and then divide by the number in front of the y, so divide by 4, and I have y equals negative 2 over 4 simplifies to negative 1/2. Negative 4 divided by 4 simplifies to negative 1. So now I have to work with this right here. Okay, so now remember this right here in blue is in the form of y. Let's put it up here. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that means that this right here is my slope, right? That's my m. And then this right here is the b, right? So now I need to look at these graphs, and first I'm going to look at the green part. Okay, I need a dot on the y-axis. Okay, I need a dot on the y-axis that is on negative 1. Okay, I have two graphs that are doing that. See, this one's at negative 1 and this one's at negative 1. So this one right here is not my answer because that is a negative 2 and that right there is a negative 4, right? And then I want to look at the slope. Now I can already tell real quick. This is a negative 1/2, right? If I was on my bike right here, would I be going, oh wow, I drew the little man's butt before I drew his hands. Okay, so is the little man going up or down? And we know he's going down. If I drew my bike over here, is the little man going up or down? And he's going up, right? It's a negative slope, therefore if it's a negative slope, he should be going down, and my answer is A. Now that's a lot of work, okay? If I didn't want to work that much, I have my best friend, the calculator. All I had to do on my calculator was, I think I have a calculator here, yes I do. On my calculator, all I had to do was go turn it on, first of all. Turn it on, there you go. Go to y equals, and all I have to do is type it in. Negative 1 divided by 2 x minus let's put in minus 1. Okay, again the x is always here just in case you didn't know that. That's a negative, that's a minus, and all I had to do was graph it, and I would have known my answer without having to draw the little man and all that stuff, right? Notice that it's at negative 1, it's at negative 1. So again, once you solve for y, then your calculator can do the work for you. Okay. Alright, pause the video if you need to. I'm going to move on to the next one, but pause it if you need to think about it, study it a little more, if you have a question. I think my computer just froze. Oh, there it is. Okay. So then let's go on to number 3. It says, what is the equation in standard form? Let's see if I can move it a little bit more. What is the equation? Whoa, what is this? What is the equation in standard form of the line that passes through the given point? So passes through 6, 1, and has 6, negative 1, and has a slope of negative 1 over 3. Alright, easiest way to do this would be, let's think about it a little bit, point slope form, right? Y equals m x minus x1 plus y1, right? So we know that the slope is negative 1/3, so I'm going to put the negative 1/3 there. And then we know that we keep the x. We know that we always take the opposite of the 6, so that's minus 6. And then we know that we keep that one the same, so that's minus 1. Now none of these look that way right now, right? I still need to solve them. So first of all, I'm going to multiply this one with that one. Negative 1/3 times x, that's negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 times 6 gives me positive 2. Bring down the negative 1. And then I can combine these like terms right here. 2 minus 1. So negative 1 over 3x. And then 2 minus 1 gives me 1. Positive 1. Okay. Now, here's where it's going to get a slightly difficult. Okay, not too much. So I have this one right here. I want one of these ones over here to look like what I have here. Okay, one of those underlined ones need to look like the ones in the box. So I need to try them out. I need to solve for y on some of those. Okay, so I'm going to start with letter F, and I'm going to put it, I'll put it over here. So x plus 3y equals 9. Move the x. So I have 3y equals negative x plus 9. Divide by the number in front of the y. So I have negative 1/3. Hopefully nobody gets sad because I put negative 1/3. It's the same thing, right? And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So this little guy right there is not the same as 1. So my answer is not F. Okay. And I gotta try the same thing with the rest of these. Okay. I'm not gonna give you the answer. I'm just gonna give you a heads up that it's not F. Okay. Do the same thing. Solve G. Make it look like y equals mx plus b. Solve h. Solve j. And see which one looks exactly like that. Okay. Again, pause the video if you need to finish solving. And let's go on to the next one. Number 4. Okay. I am going to enter again. Need some space. Alright. What is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point and is perpendicular? So right away you see perpendicular, and we know that you gotta flip the slope, make one negative and one of them is positive, right? So if I want it to be perpendicular, I need to look at the slope, okay, and I need to flip it. So my m is gonna be flipped 5 over 3. This one's already positive, so I gotta make this one negative. That's the slope I'm gonna use. And then I'm gonna use the point negative 6, 4. Okay, we did this a lot of times. And we said, I'm gonna label this x, y, and I'm gonna take my equation, y equals mx plus b. And instead of the y, I'm gonna put the 4. Instead of the m, I'm gonna put the negative 5 over 3. Instead of the x, I'm gonna put the negative 6. And then I don't know what b is. B is the goal. You're looking for b. Now I'm gonna multiply this top part. Negative 5 divided by 3 times negative 6. I believe it gives me 10. 4 equals 10 plus b. I want to solve for b because that's the goal. I want to know what b is. So I'm going to take away the 10. So I have negative 6 equals b. So, I mean, it's kind of nice already that just by finding the negative 6, I already know this is my answer. This one's a 14, that's that. So that didn't work out, right? But even if I wanted to finish writing it out, I can use the slope that I had found. And then I can use the b that I just found here. And that looks exactly like that, so my answer is J. Okay, so I really need you to study this because, again, this takes quite a bit of steps. Well, it's not even that many steps. As long as you already know, you study it a little bit, I think you'll be fine. Okay, study it. If it would have been parallel, you would have done the same thing, except you would have kept the same slope as 3 over 5, right? Alright, pause it if you need to. Don't worry if you don't finish today during the class period. Guess what? You get to take it home and study anyway, so why not take your time, really understand it. Okay, so it says, what is the equation of the line that is perpendicular to 2y equals negative 8 minus, or negative x minus 8 and passes through a point? Same thing, perpendicular, everybody tells you you're going to flip the slope. One of them's positive and one of them's negative. But I don't see the slope here yet, right? If I want to get the slope from that, the y must be by itself. It's not by itself right now, so I need to find it. Therefore, I'm going to write it over here, and I need to leave the y by itself. First thing I'm going to do, well, the only thing I need to do is divide by 2 because that's the only number that is there on the way. That's negative 1 over 2x minus 4. Now I have an equation, and now I can do this rule up here. Flip it, so to get my slope, I'm gonna flip it, negative, or just 2 over 1, right? Ugly 2. So 2 over 1. And then this one's already negative, therefore that one has to stay positive. I don't need to put a plus sign there, I just know it's positive. So I'm gonna use my slope as 2 over 1. And then I'm gonna use the point 2, negative 3. Label it x, y. Substitute into y equals mx plus b. And notice that even before I work anything out, because I know that the slope is going to be 2 over 1, I can eliminate this negative 1/2 slope and this negative 1/2 slope. So I already have a 50-50 chance of getting it right, even if I don't finish it, right? But I'm going to finish it because we already know how to do this. So instead of the y, I'm putting that negative 3. Instead of the m, I'm putting this 2. Hopefully nobody gets sad because I didn't put 2 over 1. Remember, 2 over 1 is the same thing as 2. And then I'm going to put the x, which is 2 when it comes from there. 2 times 2 is 4. And then I need to leave the b by itself, so I need to get rid of that 4. I'm going to do minus 4. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. And because I already know that my b is negative 7, I just found it, then my answer has to be J. Again, pause the video and work on it as needed. Laptop's going crazy. Okay, let's go on to number 5. It says, let's put it down here. Which ordered pairs best represent the location of the x and y intercepts? So x-intercept, where does it touch the x-axis? It touches the x-axis right here at 0, 3. Is it 0, 3? No, what is this? I made a mistake that a lot of you guys make all the time. You always go to the left and right first. That's 3, 0, right? So I need to find the one that has a 3, 0. This one does not have 3, 0. And this one does not have 3, 0. And then it's asking for the y-intercept, which is up here. That one is 0, 3. Okay. Now it's kind of interesting because these two look exactly the same, right? But I'm guessing because they put the x first, then the x-intercept needs to go first, so 3, 0. And then they put the y second, so 0, 3 would go next. Okay. On the test, hopefully they don't do something like that, but if they do, just know if they put the x1, then you're looking for the x first. If they put the y, then you're looking for the y first, or second, sorry. Okay, so my answer would have been C. This is an easy question. You have to get these easy questions right. Alright, let's keep going. This video is getting super extremely long. Still have so many no, we're just going up to number 10. Okay, so we're almost there. And it says, so I can move it down. It says, where am I? Which is the most reasonable prediction based on the graph below. Okay, I'm going to use this graph to remind you of correlation, right? So this is the line of best fit. It goes through the middle, it goes through most of the points. And then it says, which is the most reasonable prediction based on the graph. Now, we don't really have exact points, so we don't really know where it's going to go to. But I can go to x equals 24, maybe around here. And I can, since I already drew my line of best fit, okay, then I already know that this is going to go maybe about to there. So definitely it's not 17, right? So it's not F. I can try 20. 20 is going to go to about 25, so it's not that one. 24 again will be, no, now they're flipping it around. It says, well, y is 24. So if y is 24, they're saying that this is going to be about 17. That might work, right? Maybe. And then it says when y is 21, see right there, then x will be about 20. That one's a little bit more off because it's closer to the 15, right? So I'm gonna go with H, even though it's a little bit iffy, right? You'll notice that on the test, if you draw a straight line like with your paper or something, none of them are gonna be as close like it was on mine. Okay. All right. Let's go on to number 8, which is reviewing domain and range. Remember, domain is X, so just list all the X's. Okay. And then the range is Y, you just list all the Y's. Number 9 says the function can be used to determine the cost of an Uber ride. What is the rate of change in cost of dollars? Rate of change. This is in slope-intercept form, except that they moved this number. Usually we see it on the back over here, right? But the number right next to the x is still your slope right here. Rate of change means slope. So I believe that was a negative, a positive 2.75. That's my rate of change. Okay. Number 10, finally. Is there any answer choices for that? Okay. Let's see if there's any answer choices for number 10. Ah, oh, they were already there. I'm going crazy. I'm sorry. Anyway, number 10 says the graph shows the miles traveled and the gallons of gasoline used on a cross-country trip. What is the gas mileage in miles per gallon? Miles per gallon. Okay. This right here tells you. Okay. And this right here gives your hand rate of change. We said slope. Slope is your way to go. So I'm not going to give you the answer, but pick 2 points, the ones that are closest to the grid lines. Okay, maybe about that one right there. And there's not that many good ones, but count the rise and the run and see which one of these are come closest to that. Okay, you might have to divide it out and see if you get a decimal and see if the decimal matches, but find the best one. Okay, last two things I want to go over, they're not on your paper but you need to go over them, is direct variation. Okay, so it will give you a problem like if y varies directly with x and y equals 2 when x equals 6, find x if y equals, I don't know, 10, right? This is actually an easy problem, okay? All you have to do is set up a proportion where you have y over x. So the y is on top, where the first one says y equals 2 and x equals 6, I'm going to do 2 over 6. And then on this one says find x, so I don't know what x is, but I know that y is 10, okay? And then you just do your old cross multiply and divide shortcut from middle school. 6 times 10, that's 60. 2 times x equals 2x. And then all you gotta do is divide by 2. So my answer is 30 equals x, and that's it. Okay. Every time it says varies directly, that's all you have to do, a proportion. Some of you guys already know the shortcut. I kind of like, I'm a fan of the shortcut actually here. I'm going to do it in a different color. I already erased it. Put that back. Okay. Let's do it in a different color. Let's do it in blue. No. Yellow. Cross multiply the numbers that are there. 6 times 10, that's 60. And then whatever you get, divide by the number you didn't use. Pretty much all we did here, right? 60 divided by 2. That gives me 30, and that's my answer. That's my little shortcut. Okay, last one that I want to go over that's not here is let's go over if they give you a table, what do you do? How do you find the correlation coefficient? I didn't get to cover that because I wasn't here, because I'm never here, and I'm so sorry, but okay, so we have something like that. Okay, I want to know the correlation coefficient of that, and I want to know the equation of that. So real quickly, I'm going to remind you how to use your calculator. Let's go on to the calculator, turn it on. First thing you gotta do is second plus 7, 1, 2. So you don't have to be erasing anything. Go to stats, select edit, type in your numbers, 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter. And then type in the other numbers, 10, enter, 36, enter, and 40. I just made these numbers up. They would have given you a table or something, okay? And then before I go to stat, I'm going to go to second clip. And I'm going to go to second 0. I didn't show you this. It's important that you go. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says diagnostics on. That one right there, okay? I'm going to press enter on diagnostics on and press enter, and now it says done. Turned it on. It's good. I can go back to stats, and I'm going to go to calc because I already put in my table. And we said linear regression was part of our vocabulary. So go to 4. Some of your calculators require you to press enter like 20 million times. This one's only once. And it gives me all this information. Okay. First of all, it gives me the equation y equals 15x minus 1.3. Okay. That's the equation, and it comes from the a and the b. And then it's going to give me an r value. I don't care about the r squared, I care about the r. R equals 0.92. You want r to be close to either positive 1 or negative 1. This is very, very close to positive 1. Therefore, it tells me if I was to graph this would have a strong correlation. which means it is very likely that these points form a straight line when I make a graph out of them. Okay? This is called the correlation coefficient. So if they ask for a correlation coefficient, all you gotta do is turn on your diagnostics, put your points in stats, and go from there. Okay? Do the rest of this stuff and you'll be able to find an equation and your correlation coefficient. Okay, I know this video is very long, but I need you to study this video because it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help you remember what we've been doing this whole time. There are some stuff that we still didn't review, but go back through your notes and study because there's gonna be stuff on the test on writing equations of all kinds. Writing equations from 2 points, writing equations from a table, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, linear regressions, and what I just did right now with correlation, direct variation, all kinds of stuff. Study, study, study. Okay. Alright, well, let me know if you have any questions. You can leave a comment. Oh, I sound like those YouTube people. Leave a comment below. But really, do leave a comment on the, not on the YouTube channel, but in the classroom so I can answer, and everybody else that has a question may ask about it as well. Okay? Alright, so guess I'll see you guys next time.